Hello, everyone, and welcome to Oracle Mom Cafe. I am your host, Tony Lynn, and thank you so much for being here. What we do here is we just take a few minutes of our time to think about the card that we have and the meaning and how it applies to our life. Feel free to pause the video, grab your own cards if you have any, and pull a card to see how it resonates with this one, or you can just relax and listen or watch the video. Your card today is from Temple of Balance Oracle cards in Australia, and your card today is Nautilus. It's a sea creature, and it is an Animal Kingdom Oracle card. Your message is break negative patterns. If you are just listening, and you're unable to see the video, this card has a nautilus, which is kind of like a round seashell with a sea creature in the center of it. And it is basically like representing under the water. You can see bubbles around the nautilus. This card is reminding you of the importance of letting go of patterns that you keep coming back to. For example, like something in your life that you need to let go of so that you can love yourself more, move in the path that you feel called to move into with a more productive outcome. Anything that is negative is going to be linked to something else. We don't have a negative without a cause. For some of you, it could be a person, job, the place that you're at. It's just not serving your vibrations anymore. This could be also something from your past. It could be a way that you were raised or a situation that you haven't healed from. But in order to stop what is happening to you, or in order to move past the emotions or situations that you're wanting to change, there has to be something that you deal with. Anything that's negative in your life is coming from some kind of situation that hasn't yet been resolved. So, what I would do with this card is understand that you need to not speak or say anything, but just simply be present. Be present in your environment, be present in your mind, with your thoughts, with your words, with your actions. If you notice something negative about yourself, about a situation, an interaction, take note on it. Why is it negative? Why does it exist? Why is it there? Sometimes it might be you need to love yourself more. Maybe you need to set boundaries with yourself, boundaries with others. You might look at a situation and realize that you're not seeing truly the whole situation for what it is. This could be one of these situations where you're putting too much trust into someone, or you want to see a situation or a person in their best way, but you're not seeing them for their true colors. This could be a situation that pertains to you and how you're handling things. Maybe you want to be a better person as far as like how you show up for yourself, or a better parent, better coworker. You might need to look at yourself and be willing to see your faults so that you're willing to make the changes that you need to make to improve your life and to empower your behaviors and your actions and responses so that these negative patterns don't have anything to stand on. That's where you want to start with this card. Negative patterns have a foundation that allows them to keep going around and around. In order to break these negative foundations, we have to be willing to look at the patterns and what we're doing and allowing in these patterns. And sometimes these patterns are not easy to break. Sometimes they're very deep, and it's going to require you to keep going in your heart space and addressing the issue again and again. Sometimes these patterns might be very easy. It might just be simply eliminating somebody from your life. And therefore, when you eliminate them, you eliminate the pattern because they're not there. But for some situations, you got to be really careful because you don't want to release someone without healing yourself, or release a situation without healing yourself. Because if you don't heal yourself, then you will repeat that pattern in another person, in another situation. You might feel that you leave one situation and you go into another situation, and this one's not as bad, but you're still in the situation. You still have the negative patterns. So just be very mindful of what you're doing, what's involved around you, who's involved around you. Pay attention to the pattern. Write it down if you have to. Write down the negative pattern that you see. Write down what you're doing that's allowing this pattern, and then set goals on how you can address them. Set one goal at a time and work towards mastering that one goal to the point where you can cross it off because it's no longer an issue, and then work on the next goal. It's not always a race of how fast you can get there to get rid of the negative patterns. Sometimes, in order to break the negative patterns, you have to take one step at a time. You have to be willing to look at yourself. Self reflection is very important because you can't point fingers at everybody else and not realize that you, if you're in it, then you're a part of it somehow. You have to allow yourself to look at yourself, take accountability for what you're doing, and then look at the situation, people, whatever it is that's negative, and set goals. I always tell people do the easiest goal first because that helps you to see that you are capable of making each step in the process. And as you keep moving forward with each step, you eventually are not going to have any steps left when you turn around. You're going to be where you need to be. Sometimes that negative pattern, it'll just fall away without you even realizing it because you are working so hard on yourself. The situation itself can resolve without you even realizing that it did. Pay attention to the negative patterns, break the negative patterns by truly sitting with everything. Don't dismiss any of it. Look at all of it across the board. That's the best way to identify the source of where the patterns keep repeating, and then choose your best options to overcome them. You can also turn to prayer, ask God's source, spirit team, creators, ancestors to come in and help you to see these negative patterns, help you to understand why you're making them, why you're choosing them, why they're there, and to help you break them without repeating them, right? You might need to go through some trials and tests, but eventually you will break these patterns. You will see who you truly are and what your true worth is. And then these patterns won't exist anymore. So don't give up. Keep showing up. I hope this has helped you. Thank you for being here and have a great day. Bye. See you in the next one.